Alright, so as you twat benders out there may have noticed by now, this is not on Twitch and never was on Twitch and probably never will be on Twitch again. But regardless, I will
Ah.
tell you, at the time of filming, it was Thursday night, therefore Alpha Wit Thursday, so named partly because I am the alpha part, and part named because over there is the wit part.
Oh, that would be me.
That would be you. And more than that, it is Alpha Wit Thursday Plus, and the Plus is a fairly famous VTuber named Dee Dee the Vamp.
My back hurts from carrying the show. My name isn't even in the show.
It's true. I'd say we should rectify that, but meh, laziness. Anyway, what I have here tonight is the sequel to a game I did about 5 years ago with another old friend of mine, Shadow Toa. That was called Legends of Murder, Stonedale Castle. And the plot there was we had a dead king on our hands. Dead because of a kingslayer, as it were. We had to make determination of who that was, gather up enough evidence to prove that it was that person.
Wait, are you tricking me into watching Witcher 2 again?
No, no, no. I will never touch something so modern. Anyway, we have here Legends of Murder 2, Greyhaven. I have actually never played this one, despite all of my years of playing the first one when I had the physical 3.5-inch disc that went with it. So, this time we are in another town, solving another murder, and talking to different people. So,
Is
here
this
we,
fantasy?
yes. So, here's what the screen looks like. On the top left, we have our navigation. The little rectangle with the red face right in front of the blue gate is us. And there's buildings, I would guess statues, other things to check out and explore. And items in the middle screen, we'll get to that eventually. The thing we're talking to will show up in the right screen. And we have a story.
Show me our face again. Which one's us?
Do you see the white circle dead in the middle of the left screen?
I do.
The rectangle below that is us.
Huh. Okay.
We're a very old wizard-looking guy with a big beard and all. The great gate swings shut with a loud clang as you brush the layers of dust from your shabby gray cloak. Once acceptably clean, you peer about. The village has not changed much since your last visit 4 years ago. The place is a bit more run down, and there are fewer people walking about. In fact, you see no sign of life at all. It is on that last visit when you met Baswick, a well-respected teacher of wizardry. His small school has no more than 9 apprentices at any one time, and currently has 7 if you include the student who died 2 days ago. It was only yesterday that you received the message from Baswick to return to Greyhaven and investigate his death. The note said to meet him at the Golden Griffin, a small inn at the west end of town. So we know where we should go first to advance the plot.
Indeed.
Now, a couple things to notice as we start. We now have a few items waiting for us in the center window. And in the bottom of the left window, you see a red line and a blue line. The red line represents our current HP level. The blue represents our concentration or our magic points. You can see numbers
Is
for
there
both.
a reason it's so little and so to the left? Are we going to get party members or are we going to get better?
Completely unknown, presuming the latter. So we have a status screen that I can check. We begin at level 1 with no experience, like any other good RPG. 9 hit points out of a max 9. And there are conditions such as poisoning, drunkenness, etc., assuming they did the same thing as the first game. 4 stats: strength, agility, dexterity, intellect. So strength representing attack power, agility representing speed, dexterity representing accuracy, and intellect representing magical attack and defense. Concentration is basically our MP. Every 10% represents 1 point. We can raise that above 100% magically, or if we're below, we can walk around to refill that over time. Weapon, armor, which we will address now with the new equip function, which was not in the first game. So we can equip a weapon first if we have it. Rather than use our bare hands, I like whipping people. And given the choice between wearing nothing and wearing a set of robes, I think we ought to wear the robes. So we now basically have minimal weapon power and minimal defense power, which is better than nothing.
Damn. There goes my hope for a dick out playthrough.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Maybe later.
And that scepter we have there, Scepter of Protection. Let me check and see if there is a proper use for this thing. I can use it at any time. I just want to know if there is a guideline for this initial item so I can actually learn how to do it. Not seeing anything resembling.
The rice is behind it.
Nope, nothing. Alright, so I guess make our best guess as to what this thing does. I would assume it's at least heavily increased defense over a short period of time, or a permanent defense boost. Guess we'll find out when we find somewhere good to do so. Okay, all of that having been said, the west end of town, huh? So, as we walk around, I can search stuff.
How far west are they talking?
It said west end of town, so I would assume all the way.
So all the way to the end?
Yep. And the white circle. A huge copper statue of a wizard stands here. I want to burglarize some buildings first. Yeah, like you do in an RPG. The door to this house is locked. You knock and receive no answer. You gently push open the door. Looking in, you see the place is deserted and has been so for weeks. There's nothing of interest here. You leave. Alright. You gonna get anything useful out of anywhere? Not that one. Not that one. Nope. 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 And in the adventure game tradition, we're going to go to all the wrong places first, just to see if we can find any help at all. So far, it ain't looking... You managed to squeeze into the small outhouse. There's nothing but the usual here. I'm disappointed. Please explain. I want to know what the usual is, in grave detail.
That would... you've got West of Loathing for that.
Ah, shit.
Remember the scene from Jurassic Park?
Which?
It's like that.
Oh, yeah. Took me a second to think that one. Haven't checked you yet. Nothing. I'm going to assume that if there's no red line representing a door, there's nothing to search. Can I go swimming? It doesn't appear so. Oh my. Water rushes down a small waterfalls here. A small waterfalls here. Just
Not their best.
Yeah. Just after you finish observing the falls, a couple of bright floating balls of light come bouncing through the air towards you. They pause as if inspecting you and then increase their speed, flying in orbit around you. After a few moments, they reach a dizzying speed and then turn in towards you and attack. We have a first combat. We face a wisps. A singular wisps.
Wow, they're not having a good luck with their S's. Is this game developed in America?
Yes, it is. By a company called Soft Disc for their Big Blue Disc magazines. It was a monthly publication that they eventually had to change the name of because of the similarity to IBM's nickname. With that history lesson, in combat we have 4 choices at any given time. We can fight using that whip, we can run using our feet, we can use an item using our knapsack, or we can cast a spell using our concentration. Now,
What are our spells?
If it's like the first game, we don't start with any. Yeah, no knowledge, so we can't do that. We could use the Scepter of Protection, but I don't think we want to use that on something this early.
Probably not.
I also don't want to run, because I'm not a coward. So I guess that leaves us only one option. We're going to fight. We strike at the wisps and miss. The ball of light rushes at you. You take severe damage. This might not have been such a great idea. If you look at our red gauge, there's a lot of white there now.
Yeah.
We took 5, maybe 6 points. We took 5. This is probably not going to end well for us, so let's just do it again. Strike, graze, energy burst, graze. 1 hit. Graze, graze. Armor deflection, armor absorption. Graze. We absorbed, hooray. Graze, graze. We cannot take another one of those. Miss, absorb. Absorb, absorb. Graze, draws blood. That's going to be it. You have died.
Well, it's been a real short episode of Alpha with Thursday.
Okay, bye!
Yeah, it's not
good
gonna.
to see you.
It's not gonna end that way. All right, let's try that again.
So, do you think that happens every time you examine the water?
In that one spot, probably. But I'm going to do something a little bit more reasonable this time. So we know that there's nothing of use anywhere over here, nor to the north, nor to the south. So I'm going to come right back over here, and we're going to save at this point. And then if I want to restore it from this point, I can. So let's try that again and see if this goes a little bit better. We got a graze. Deep gash for 4 points. Miss, miss. Draws blood for 2 points. Minor wound, that's good. Draws blood.
Do you think wound is a condition?
No. Wound is just flavor text for damage. Alright. I'll consider that strike 1. If I lose this 3 times, then I'll give it up. And the
Give
same
it
kinds
up,
of flavor
baby,
tests.
give it up.
Strike 2.
United.
And alright, obviously that's not going to work yet, so we're going to save him for later. Bridge over troubled water. You just managed to cross the rickety wooden bridge when, from under it, a sleepy-looking hill giant stumbles. It sees what disturbed its slumber and attacks you. I don't think this is going to go well either. Let's see just how bad this goes. Miss, absorb. Miss, absorb. Graze, graze. Miss, graze. Graze, solid blow. Graze, graze. Deep gash across the chest. Dead. Nope, that's not gonna fly either. Back west.
We better get incredibly more powerful very, very fast after going west.
I mean, that's probably like going west in Castlevania 2 instead of east to start out. Just, you're not leveled for it yet. Alright, so, save, I'm just going to do that if it's going to have me type in a name every time. Another outhouse. Locked. 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 There is a severely battered statue here. It is scarred beyond recognition. Anything in this fence? If there is, apparently I don't detect it. The Golden Griffin Inn. Fantastic. Now we know where we should go. Locked. You tug on the handle of the huge iron gate. You soon realize that no amount of pulling will open the gate. You knock and receive no response.
Have we gone west enough yet? What more do they want?
No, we found it. We found the inn we wanted. Just we're not going in
Ah.
yet.
Always go the wrong way first.
Absolutely.
My bad.
The steel shop appears to be open. We'll check that out before we head into the inn. Save there. While most of the houses in the town are small one-room shacks, the 10 houses which line this street are large and well-built, of the type you might find in the more wealthy sections of a city. One open door, two open doors. Three open doors, four open doors. 5. Oh. An unseen force pushes you back out the door.
Open, but at what cost?
350.
Actually, I don't even know if I have currency. I didn't see any in the status screen. Nope, nothing.
Bitch, you broke.
We don't even have a field for it, so I don't even know if that's true. Alright. Oops. Let's go from this end and see what happens with any of these. Push. 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 Push,
I will
Mrs.
be
Johnson,
right back
push.
momentarily. And enjoy your doors.
Thanks. Alright, so obviously if we're meant to go into any of these doors, we don't have what we need to do so just yet. So, let's think for a sec. Maybe there'll be something in the shop. Okay.
Is someone here still alive?
Would appear so. The shopkeeper, at the very least. A health-restoring potion, an enchanted longsword, a magical broadsword, dragon scale armor, special request items.
Have we
Or
ascertained how
leave.
much money we have?
No, not yet. What is a leave?
What's the NE key?
Well, you see, it's fall, so you pick those up and you shove them up your ass if you're a white girl.
Oh, that explains the brown and red streaks running up and down. So yeah. We probably ought to get a better weapon than the whip. And we're saved, so there aren't really consequences to anything we do here.
I wouldn't spend the money just yet.
I am curious about the special request items, though.
And I'm also curious, like, what else is in town?
Yeah.
Although
Well,
you are the one piloting this.
I mean, I'm just going to restore each time. I'm curious as to what's what here.
Okay.
I am sorry, but you need more money to purchase that item.
I'm sorry, but your princess is in another castle.
Tell me what you would like. Let's have a little fun with this. Wit.
Oh, it's a parser?
If you could have any item in the world, what would you want?
Buh.
Is that with 2 U's or 3?
I'm no good at these because I get so overwhelmed by the context.
Forget everything. Forget everything except what you personally would like most in the world.
Sex change
But-
or character.
Um, physical items, huh?
Yes.
A lot of the things I desire are non-physical.
Well, pick one of
I don't know.
those. I
I guess
mean,
a pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
we do not have that particular item in stock at the moment.
I thought that was the point of requests, is that it's not in stock. But
Cheeseburger.
yeah, cheeseburger or beesburger. Yeah, well, you even said please.
I tried to be
Not even
polite.
offering to get a line on it for you. You weren't expecting to hear the word beesburger tonight?
No.
I should have warned you. I'm sorry.
Well, I
I
made
should have asked if you were in a mental space to hear the word beesburger.
I think that warrants a drink.
Type in proper cheeseburger this time. Just type in cheeseburger.
Okay.
We should think of items that existed in 1990, because they can't think of shit that didn't exist.
What, fax machine? What are you talking? I mean, he's already got swords. He's already got armor. Oh, well. This feels like a quest like, it's not a real parser.
You're supposed to figure out something you need to ask for
Yeah,
later.
I would think it more
Yes.
likely that somebody has something they want us to ask.
Yes.
That being
That is
that-
also the feeling I'm getting.
Being that we have no money and at this moment no way of seeing what money even is.
Yeah, I
nothing
am a
we
little
can do
worried
here
about
right
that.
Well,
Maybe that field will just appear once it's not 0.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that'll do it for preliminary exploration. Let's head into the inn. Alright. Now, somewhere in here is Basmir the wizard. Now, if we find a person, it'll typically come up automatically in the first game. That's not going to stop me from searching everything anyway.
Empty chairs at empty tables.
Don't ask me what your sacrifice was for.
Hmm.
You signal the barkeep and he slowly swaggers over.
What was all this for?
Anybody want to play the random voice?
I might be catching the cold that Riss is getting, so I kind of want to talk as little as possible.
Alright.
You might be one man showing it.
You're one man showing it tonight.
I only serve to those with money, grumbles the old barkeep.
How can he tell? Ask him how he knows how much money we have, and ask him teach us how to find out.
I would if I had a parser. If I only had a
If only we
parser.
had Beastburger.
That would have fixed all of this.
Well, they obviously don't serve food here. The oak table is old, scarred, and stained with beer. I'd be worried if it was stained with anything else. Another one. The troll grins, lifts his huge club from the floor, and steps forward to attack.
Really? Yeah, look at that.
We're not going to survive this. We know that. Yes, that's a good one. We get a deep cut. He gets nothing on us.
Are we about to get in trouble for, like, killing a paying customer?
And this time, probably not.
What, everybody gets one for free?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Nobody really cares unless it's a city official or something.
Hmm.
And I doubt this troll is a city official.
It
Yeah!
hurts.
We did it! 15 points.
How do we heal?
Um,
Since when were we a fighter? I thought we were some sort of wizard.
no, his appearance is that of a wizard. Like think any traditional wizard with like a droopy pointy hat and a robe and the beard
Yen
that goes
said.
with it. That's yeah. That's pretty much how he looks, but he is a fighter.
Gandalf for.
All
Yeah.
right, save there. All right, I'm gonna
Unless
walk
it's Big
for a few
Naturals
minutes.
Gandalf.
No, probably not.
Well, now I choose to interpret it's Big
Actually,
Naturals Gandalf, so there.
Oh, I wish you
I'm
wouldn't.
gonna go.
Very well.
I am watching the red gauge to see if it goes up as I'm walking.
Oh, you think there might be an auto heal? They didn't invent that until Call of Duty.
Well, I mean, you restore concentration this way up to 100%, and it was like that in the first game as well.
Oh.
As for physical health, there was a very different system where rather than points, it was states of being. Like you are scratched, you are cut in a few places, moderately wounded, etc. It wasn't numerical like it is now.
Hmm.
I'm not seeing much improvement here. All right. Well, maybe there's a way to sleep at the end. But for right now, we did very well with that first fight.
You cannot sleep. There's enemies nearby.
Yeah, that enemy is capitalism. He's not going to give you a room for free.
Yeah.
Did we get any money from the troll?
Not that was indicated. You have entered the common room of the inn. The lighting is dim, and the smell of sour beer and torch smoke fills the air. The place is empty except for the bartender standing at the bar and a huge troll who lies dead at the table nearest you.
Don't know anything about that. How mysterious.
I wonder if it would have said something if I'd stepped at that pixel while he was alive. So,
Presumably it wouldn't have said he was dead, because he wasn't dead.
yeah. Excursion. I'm not even going to bother arming myself or anything because I'm checking exactly one specific niche thing. The place is empty except for the bartender standing at the bar and a huge troll who is seated in the chair nearest to you. Needless to say, the sight of the troll disturbs you. Obviously, they serve all types here.
Oh,
Now,
we killed him out of racism? Or he tried to kill us out of racism?
we approached him, he stood up and drew his club.
I suppose that's true.
Anyway, restore. And ding dong, the bitch is dead. Nobody seems to be screaming bloody murder. And I guess I can't search the guy for anything.
I think this is a Mos Eisley Cantina moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
You even look like Obi-Wan.
Yeah. We checked north already. Should we go northwest or south?
Which looks least promising?
Both look equally unimportant to plot from this appearance.
Alright, I guess northwest.
Northwest. This appears to be the inn's kitchen. The room is clean, but is quite bare of food. Nothing is cooking. In fact, there's not even a cook present. So much for Beastchurger, then. A sturdy wood table. The fireplace is unlit and has apparently been so for a while. The shelf contains various cooking utensils. Yeah. The rack is filled with spices. A large, clean table. What's this? This cabinet is packed with various pots and pans, none of which we can take for a weapon, I guess.
Yeah,
Which,
my RPG senses are like, well, they're not using it. It's for me.
which would lead me to assume that this might be a pantry of some sort. A number of large barrels fill the center of this room. As well, you notice a few large grain sacks, boxes, and various other containers. You detect a faint smell of rot here. Sacks of molding flour. An iron chest. Open it. That seems like a mission of the damned. I'll save that for before we leave this room.
You suspect it will trigger something that kills us?
Or combat. Empty wine barrels. A couple of boxes of spices. A number of dried meats hang here. Sacks of rotten grain.
There's falling on hard times, and then there's like keeping rotting food. That's what I don't fully understand.
Yeah. Okay, here goes nothing. Ooh. Healing potion.
Okay.
Healing potion. Healing potion. I like that.
Are we in trouble now?
Not if nobody knows we took it. Alright.
So it's Skyrim rules.
Yep.
Seems that way. And can we put the bucket on his head?
I'm gonna say no, but I wish we could just to see if that gives us an armor boost.
It counts as obscured sightline.
Indeed. This design turned out to be a jail room in the first game. I'm not going to use a health potion until I know we're about to fight.
Oh, it's a stable.
The smell of hay fills this area. To the left and right, you see a number of stalls.
What do you mean use a health potion before the fight? Does it boost your health?
Well, no, it restores it, but we're at 3 out of 9 points right now, so I don't.
We're still hurt from troll fight.
Yeah.
We haven't found a way to fix that until just now.
A horse stall filled with rotting hay.
Ah, I see it's Kentucky Derby already.
Yeah, I should look into that. I haven't been paying attention this year.
Where's Simon when you need him?
That feels like a joke I don't understand.
The Belmont Stakes?
Oh, wow. That was a couple too many leaps ahead of me.
I'd apologize, but I'm not sorry.
No, you never are.
Try to see if there's anything maybe, I don't know, under the hay somewhere.
He won't even be sorry even when he's on the stand at The Hague.
That's,
I would like to think if it went that far, he'd be a tiny bit sorry. Although I suppose there's difference between sorry and regret.
Regret you're getting caught.
Precisely.
Is it really regret it? Oh, dear. Searching about under the hay, you discover a trap door. Go down.
Hey, you did it.
You follow a dark, dirty underground tunnel
Was
until
that
you
a
finally
fucking
surface
pun?
through another trap door. Was that a what?
Was that a fucking pun?
I didn't notice it, so maybe?
If it was, it wasn't my intent.
Bailiff, remove the rest for organs.
Oh.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, my attention is perhaps not the most focused.
The items on those shelves look interesting. What about...
So, is that just elsewhere in the inn, or was that a different building?
I'm not sure. Alright, so... This tiny room contains nothing but shelves and the small trapdoor from which you entered. So the trapdoor
Oh, this
is
is
on the
right
left.
behind the bar.
Ah,
That's
look at
the
that.
troll,
There it is.
the dead troll above you.
Yep. So, what do we got? A mace, which I would assume to be a stronger weapon. Robes, a
I would
scroll,
hope.
and a canister containing a string potion. What the hell is a string potion?
I do have trouble spelling that word, although that is not usually the way I misspell it.
Alright, well, depending on whether...
Presumably take all of those?
Yeah, we can only carry 9 at a time, though.
Well, we
So,
can put the whip... We can discard the whip if we have the mace.
so here's what I'm going to do first. Keep my second save state here. I am actually going to use one of the health potions at this point. You quaff the minty potion. It's only good for 2 points. Jesus
What?
Christ.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
What's the point? You might as well just, I don't know, drink a grape juice for the amount that heals you.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'll let that be because I want to grab everything and not leave anything behind. So, we'll take the mace.
Is this like one of them situations where like the fruit juice is like only 1% fruit juice? Is this like only 1% healing potion?
Healing
The rest is
potion?
Yeah,
sugar
really.
Water?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is kind of unfortunate except for the taste. I'll take the
Yeah.
robes in case we have the ability to sell them later. And a scroll and the strength potion. Alright, let's get
So that's
back.
a blank scroll?
Let's get back up to somewhere safe and start checking things.
Where is safe in this game?
Probably nowhere.
Yeah,
But we'll hang here where nobody's around. And save state 2. Alright, let's check things out. Let's use... Actually, let's check the character sheet first. So strength currently reads as poor. Let's see what happens when we down that potion. Use 9. You drink the bitter potion. Strength average. Distinctly better
do you
than
think
poor.
that is a time limit thing, like a temporary boost, or is just how you get better? Or how one way to get better?
Basing on the first game, one way to get better.
Oh,
So that should not go down. So let's change our equipment. We're presuming the mace to be stronger than the whip, yeah?
yes, simply because it is not the very first thing you got.
Yeah. And robes, I don't think it matters. Alright, so there's that done. Let's save state 2. And what about that scroll? You learn much about the art of combat. It levels us up to 30. I'm actually going to restore back.
Wait, now we're fighter level 2.
Yeah, so that was a rare candy scroll, basically.
Where are we going back then?
I'd rather use that scroll at the beginning of an experience level. Like, rather than waste it on what only amounts to 15 points, use it for maybe 30, 40, 50, whatever the next level is after that. So essentially win one more fight, and then use that scroll.
Assuming we do win one more fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I hope you don't regret that.
Oh, regret is just a natural way of life now.
Again, we have to get him to the Hague.
True. Okay. I'm good with saving in state 1 again. And what's to the south? You walk the short fenced path up to this squat, dilapidated building. That's a description. You now stand just inside the doorway and look down the short hall with its peeling paint and cockroaches. Pleasant.
Gross.
Alright, what's in this little room here first? You step into a small bedroom. The room is tidy and neat, but the furnishing are of poor quality, and a thin layer of dust covers the floor. Let's see. A small wooden table, a wooden chair. What, nothing for the bed? A wooden
No bed,
chest.
only floor.
Alright.
So is this one of the, like, rooms of the inn?
I would assume
Or do you
so.
think this is where if this was down the long hall, this is like where the innkeeper lives?
Could be either, I suppose. Maybe he just uses a room for himself. A whip. Yeah, let's take it. Alright. Now that I have items, let's go back out and try something. No, nothing.
We don't seem to have a sell option, huh?
Let me do something I would not ordinarily do at this point and check the instruction book.
I
Is there?
assume you have a digital copy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the in magazine
pages is it?
instructions. Like, if I were to guess, it's literally just a text file. If I were to guess, maybe 5-6 pages. So let me search the word store. Now that's only in context of save states. How about shop? No shop. Sell? No sell. Money? No money. Currency? No.
Wow, really not even money? Huh.
No.
That does not speak well of them ever telling us how much money we have.
Right.
A thing, it turns out, I care a lot about.
Right. Items. Yeah. Alright, well, under the assumption that there is indeed no selling, looks like we can start dropping stuff now if necessary.
I would wait until we find something else we want,
Yeah,
and then dump it all on the floor right in front of it.
yeah. Alright, so we've done this room, we emptied the chest. Let's continue through here. This room has obviously been recently occupied. Garbage and filth litters the floor, and the smell is disgusting. A large blanket can be seen by the unused bed, as well as a number of bones in the opposite corner.
Do
Let's
they say
actually...
what kind?
It did not. Let's actually save that room for the moment. See if we can find something a little less interesting first.
I'm hoping it's just like chicken bones.
This room has been occupied recently. The bed has not been made and the dust on the floor has been disturbed. The window is open. That may be important later. Anything in this remote corner of the room? No.
So we've invaded a hoarder house.
Yeah, it would
A hoarder
seem.
hotel.
Yep.
This is where they all go, I guess.
These must be the deluxe suites. This bedroom is very much similar to the others, except there is no window and a thin layer of dust covers the floor. No evidence apparent of anything, much less our friend the wizard. If I may theorize for a moment, do you see that red chair in the room to the right of where we are?
Sure.
The red circle, the red rectangle, those things?
I mean, I see the big red rectangle, but I'm
The
kind of
object,
assuming that's a bed.
the object to the north of it, the red and blue one. The
It
wizard
is
may be...
called Legends of Murder 2.
Hello, Silver.
Alpha says hello.
Alright, we'll get to that shortly. Wooden chair, wooden chair.
Fruit tap rat or something.
No, Teffer's very fussy today.
An
I
iron
don't
chest, a leather
want
vest,
to
and a
disturb
mace.
her.
That is most assuredly better armor.
Indeed.
And we've already got a mace, so
I wouldn't bother taking it again.
yeah,
I would drop the duplicate robe at very least.
yeah. Is that D? No. Um, what is the correct way to drop item?
Have we had to do it yet?
No.
Because you
Okay, here.
used the potion.
Alright, here it is. It is L for lose.
Oh.
So,
I'll admit not the synonym I would have gone for.
alright, so we'll lose whip. We'll lose whip. We'll lose robes. And we're going to take the leather vest and equip mace, leather vest, lose robes. Cool. Very annoyed we're not getting anything out of these beds.
I have the song Goldfinger stuck in my head because all I can keep thinking is bees sugar. And I can't
It's
think of
the
any other
kiss
lyrics to go
of
with it.
death for Mr. B's sugar, shit, whatever.
Wow,
Whatever it is.
you...
I
It seems
fucked
like
up.
your brain is working as well as mine is.
Yeah. It's the Baja, I promise. Speaking of which, moment.
Did you just damage yourself or our furniture? Well, that's nice.
Okay, wooden chest.
The fuck is he doing?
He has uncapped a Mike's Hard Lemonade, somewhat.
2 more healing potions. Oh,
You're cut off.
it's better than nothing. What is Silver doing?
I think he just opened a twist off by not twisting it.
Hmm.
Did you knock on the edge of the counter or something?
I think he did. But he
Alright.
claims that nothing is damaged, except for the spill.
Alright, we're back to full health.
Just use your teeth like a normal animal.
I wonder something. Nope. We drop an item, it's apparently just gone. Which is fine. And what's here? Just as you enter the room, someone strikes a glancing blow to the back of your neck. Uninjured, you
Oh.
turn to see a man moving out from behind the door to strike again. You face a thief.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna use our mace
Oh.
to beat up this thief.
Wow, this... I was prepared to excuse a couple of these, spelling and grammar problems, but, like, they really
Didn't proofread
didn't
much.
bother to check it twice.
Yeah. Well, we got a solid blow. Or, we gave him one. And we gave him a minor wound. Hoy! 65 points.
We have killed it.
That was easy.
So what level are we now?
We're level
Wow, we
3
jumped to
now.
3.
Yep. I'm going to save the scroll for a more opportune gain. That nearly doubled our HP, too. And our concentration is up to 120. Maybe we gain 10%
It
of
would be
that per
cool if
level as
we
well.
knew any magic whatsoever.
Yeah, I know. Alright,
We're Gandalf looking brotherfucker and we don't know a lick of magic.
I know. I want fantasy, damn it.
This bedroom is very much similar to the others. Again, good. Wooden chair. Wooden chair.
We're spending a lot of time in bedrooms. I think this is a different kind of fantasy.
A shoddy picture of a ship.
You saw him try to ask the parser for a prostitute.
Yeah.
I didn't even get one.
A dusty, sagging bed. Hello, what be you? A wooden chest. A poison antidote and a potion of speed.
Yes, please.
Very good.
Ah, yes.
Now that I know that poison is a thing in this game, I am afraid of it.
So that'll come up as a condition should we ever encounter it. I'm sure we eventually will. Alright, let's enjoy...
Kind of a kind of based move if they put a poison antidote in the game with no poison.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I would respect that.
Yeah, definitely raises alarms. Our agility is currently sluggish. After the speed potion, it is now a thick liquid. Oh, it upped our dexterity from unsteady to average. Okay.
I'll take it.
That'll improve our accuracy.
Well, we can at
And-
least not dance.
And I'm thankful that
too.
the max HP we gained were full hit points rather than empty ones. For those of you watching who don't know what that means, it just means it expands your max, but doesn't actually give you the point that goes with it. Like picking up an
You
empty
don't get healed.
Yeah, like picking up an empty heart in any Zelda game. Well, actually, that's not entirely accurate because that just refills your health if you pick up a full container.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. You
Actually, even I think if in the games that have hurt pieces, once you have the
Yeah,
last piece, you also get a heal.
yeah. I mean, whatever. You guys get the idea. Let's move on. At the far end of the room, you see a cloaked man sitting on the bed. The hood of the cloak covers his head, and he does not move as you enter. Correction.
This is not the same
here's the
room as the
portrait.
thief?
No, that was over here.
Okay, just
And-
checking that this guy wasn't just like totally cool with that.
And that actually may be the man we're looking for, so we will move that one down in priority for the moment.
Oh my god, there's more?
There's
You
this
have to
room.
play the game
Is it
eventually.
you're looking for?
Well, I mean, we're gonna get there, and I mean, I'm just following standard adventure game protocol. You step into a small bedroom. The room is tidy and neat, but the furnishing are of poor quality, and we've read that description before. Nothing there. Nothing there. I would assume this to be a desk. A sturdy wood table. Yeah, okay. A wooden chair. Very interesting color choice. And here's what we came for. Or here's what we came for. There we go. Wooden chest.
I was gonna say, I thought the man is what we came for.
Another healing potion.
No, we
Let's
haven't come
leave.
yet.
Let's leave
You know,
this
I
one
was
here.
just thinking about that as a joke.
What?
You and I are especially in sync tonight.
There's a whole discussion about that where I may have like the world's most useless psychic powers.
I don't know, getting along well with people is not completely useless.
In this corner and around the chair are various bones.
Is this the same
Are these this
bone
guy's
room?
leftovers?
Yeah.
Or is this a second bone room?
No, this is the one we peered in before but didn't actually enter. Nothing
I
for
hope
the-
it's chicken.
Nothing for the window, nothing for the bed. How about this? Ivory horns and a scepter of protection. We'll save the scepter because we've already got one. But what about? But what are those horns? Let's save and see what's the proper way to do it. Is it an equip thing? It appears to be an equipable weapon.
And how do we learn about it?
By equipping it and swinging it around, I suppose.
Do you remember? Wait, we've used the mace on the thief, right? Do you remember the numbers it was doing?
It didn't give us numbers, but it gave us some really strong flavor texts, like solid blow, severe damage. So that mace is pretty good for right now. I'm going to save the mace until we see what the horns do.
I agree if you've got the space for it.
Yep. And I will remember that scepter is there, should I choose to use the one that I'm carrying. Alright. A wooden chair. Just as you turn around, a large armored figure enters the room. He looks at you with surprise and then anger. Stealing my things, are you? You have made a great mistake, my friend. He rushes forward to attack. A warrior.
Get him.
Minor
Kill.
wound, draws blood. Miss, miss. Miss, miss. Solid, absorb. Minor, graze. Miss, miss. Graze, graze. Deflect, deflect, absorb. Miss, miss. And dead. Fantastic. 25 points.
I don't know what we learned about the relative weapon strength. I kind of got the feeling that this was a heavily armored creature,
Yeah,
and that might have affected the kind of words and numbers we would get.
it's possible. I'll keep the horns for the moment and see what that does against something with less armor.
Yeah, I certainly think it's a much more interesting weapon.
But in the meantime,
We sure have killed a lot of people at this inn.
there's nothing in this chest. Too bad. Alright, play the game, you say?
Well, either that or let me go to bed. Those are your choices.
Well, at this point, this is the only room left. So, I'm left to
All right.
assume this window looks out
That he's
onto
got to
the
be in
empty
there
street.
somewhere.
Yep. We're probably going to get him as we pass by. Greetings, my
Welcome to
friend.
Alphabet Thursdays, everyone.
What is up with his... Is that his little teeny hand? What's happening here?
That's what I would assume based on what I'm looking at. Greetings, my friend, says the hooded figure as he rises from the bed and draws back his hood. I am Baswick, master wizard of our fine school here. As you know, I am hiring you to discover the murderer of one of my apprentices, Errol Drafe. The general belief is that Drafe was killed by a thief who was robbing the house, but the student houses can only be entered by someone who is wearing an apprentice's medallion. No one else could possibly enter these houses. Therefore, I believe the murderer is one of the other students. You are to act as the new apprentice, and without causing too much suspicion, seek out the murderer. Here's your medallion. Never lose it. See what clues you can find in the apprentices' houses located north of here. Please, you must discover who is responsible for what has happened. Baswick sits quietly once again. Alright, so the bottom
Do you
right
get to ask
item.
any questions?
Let me try a few things here and see if I can. Wooden chair. Sturdy wood table. Baswick does not notice you. He seems to be in deep thought.
Well,
And
I
there-
mean, come on.
In the first game, you could usually talk to somebody a good 3 or 4 times before they enter this state of nothing else to say. So that's pretty short compared to
For
normal.
the enter a fugue state.
Now
Yeah.
I'm going to do something really inadvisable here.
You gonna kill him?
I was going to steal his shit, but he's got no shit to steal, so
And didn't even care that you tried.
nope. Alright, so now that we have the medallion, we should be able to enter the 10 houses up north.
I didn't realize
welcome
we
to
were...
Alphabet Thursdays, everyone. Where Alpha plays these games with every angle, and Wet demands to go to bed.
It's just my personality trait at this point is sleepy bitch.
I mean, if you wanna halt this, let me know.
I am very concerned that I'm about to get sick, and I really, 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 really don't want to be sick.
Alright.
And I am wondering if preemptive rest will be useful.
All right,
I've
so
had so much tea
Mhm.
and vitamin C.
Mm. All right, so do you want to end here, and are you interested in continuing this little romp? Because
Yes,
I
let's
find
go into
myself
one
enthralled.
apprentice's house.
One apprentice's house? All right.
Yes.
We'll start
Right,
from...
what did you say you found yourself?
Well, we got the medallion from him, which, from what he
No, no,
was
no, what
saying,
you just said. I find myself what?
enthralled by what's going on here.
Yeah, it's kind of a weak plot, but um
It's a weak game. I mean,
I haven't seen the murder investigating part yet.
well, we only...
It could win me
We
back
are
with
the
an interesting
murderer!
mystery. Yeah, great
We
point.
are the murderer who needs to be investigated!
I mean, we also just talked to the guy who summoned us, so... Oh my. There's a lot here.
It really is.
Let's see. A rare Almova flower.
Write that down, it could be a clue.
Okay. What did that say? Comfortable sitting room.
Write that down, it could be a clue.
A corner table and an expensive MOA chair.
What is that, an IKEA item?
Maybe. The window looks out onto the
The
deserted
chair made
street.
out of a moa?
Another sitting
All
room.
I know what a MOA is from a video game, so that can't be right.
Mm.
A video game made 40 years after this one. Wait, no, that can't be right.
The study.
22 years after this one? If I'm doing my math right.
Mm. You
If
find a...
Warframe is 12 and this came out in 1990.
Yeah. You find a book entitled Rug Weaving. Magical Creatures. The Mystic Arts. A spell that allows us to heal a wound. Ooh.
Hallelujah.
Look at that. And it is called Heal. Well,
Great, thanks.
we'll worry about that later. The Undead.
Speaking of, what is our HP like these days?
Midian Poetry. 13 out of 17. So if I find items, I can down those 2 potions and be done with it.
Alright.
Ritual Sorcery. Obla's Verses. The Mystic Arts. Create a magical shield. And it is called, presumably, Shield. Yep.
Be interesting to see if that's worth the turn it takes to cast.
Yeah, and how strong it is compared to the Scepter of Protection, which at this point I'm very convinced is a shield item. Aspects of Illusions. The title of the book you find is obscure and you can't quite make it out. The Basics of Spell Casting. Cast forth a ball of fire. I'm starting to like this. Lavatra's Simple Enchantments. You are not experienced enough to learn another spell, so I'm going to assume that we will find that later again. Art of Glassblowing, Magic in Nature, Dragon Magic, the practice of Dark Sorcery, the Magic of Calculus, Mathematics, and I think that Source of All Magic, the 7 Rites.
Sorry.
That's good for now.
Richard, are you talking to us here in real life?
No, I'm not. I do not actually smell marinara.
Okay, because I can't imagine how you having an online conversation and asking the people you're online with what they can smell.
A beautiful...
Okay. Okay, have a
Ask
nice
him where's
night.
Dominion 6 at!
Wendy wants to know where Dominion 6 is.
Uh-oh.
It's being passed up the chain.
A heavy granite table.
Tell him if it's not there by the time I come up there next week, if I did come up there and you're all not dying of COVID, I'm going to extract his organs.
Above the table
I
are
will
a few...
lay out the organ extraction threat later.
Above the table are a few degrees. One is for graduating from Jade Towers, the largest wizardry school in the realm. You hear the flapping of leathery wings. You look up to see a small dragon swooping down from her well-hidden perch up near the ceiling. A young silver dragon. Let's
Oh,
see.
this is like somebody's like dog guarding their house. I don't want to kill this. Can we run away?
I mean,
Yes, let's run away.
we could in theory. You
No, we're
retreat.
the ATF,
The creature
motherfucker.
does not follow.
I'm not shooting this man's dog.
There might be a Tannerite dog. Shoot the dog from a distance.
I will not.
All right. Well, the cabinet. Leather armor, presumably stronger than that vest. Alright, then let's drink potion. Drink potion. Open cabinet. Take armor. Shift equipment. Lose vest. And good. So I guess we're going to have to be another level to gain another spell, but I'm going to wait for a smaller XP boost so I know I get more bang for my buck there.
How do you know how many it's going to take?
The last game, once you were at level 8, you could learn 8 spells, and the numerical pattern leading in. Like, level 6 fighter, you can get 6 spells, that kind of thing.
No. I mean, how do you know how many experience points it's going to take before your next level up?
I don't for sure, but from that first time I used the scroll and then restored, my XP went up to 30 when I got to level 2. So I am guessing that we got to level 3 on 60, and we'll get to level 4 on 120. That's only a math-based guess. So another 15 XP should get us to level 4 if I have that right. Or, why don't I just do this?
Test.
Yep. Let's use the scroll. 120. 200.
That seems worth it to me. That was quite the jump.
But imagine what a bigger jump if we do it at or closely after 200.
If we don't get to control
No,
how... I mean, I just feel like you're going to end up putting it off forever.
no, that won't happen. I'll do it on 4 into 5. Whatever
Very
comes
well.
up of it. A very sinister looking pool of a dark, oily liquid. Aw, can I touch it?
Are we talking puddle or like tub?
It says very sinister. Oh, I see. I mean,
I'm
it's kind of shaped
curious.
like a swimming pool.
Yeah, but it's like, look at the scale. That's like
Yeah, I
a
know.
guy and a half, maybe? That's says more puddle to me.
Yeah, I know. A glass
But who
desk.
keeps a puddle?
A glass desk upon which lies a number of unreadable notes. This bedroom is clean and the bed is made, but it obviously is not currently being used by anyone. So, if it's not being used by anyone, does that dragon really belong to anybody?
I don't want to kill the dragon.
Okay. A soft, down-filled bed. And we can't use it. Sucks. Alright. An orb of consuming.
An orb of consuming.
Oh my.
Is that like an offensive thing?
I know a way to find out.
Yeah, I was gonna say save state and touch it.
Alright. So use orb of consuming. You can only use this item in combat. Okay. Is the same true of the scepter? You invoke the scepter and magic field forms around you. Doesn't indicate anything on the status screen, and I'm not going to waste that. This bedroom is being used by a man since there are a few piles of male clothing stacked near the bed. The room is clean and tidy, and everything in it is of the finest quality. We're about to steal from a rich man. A painting of colorful designs. A cozy feather bed and nightstand. Guess that's a divider. All right. What good things will we find here? A scroll. Fantastic. So I'm forbidden to kill the dragon, huh?
I just think it's somebody's dog.
Okay.
Or worse, in many fantasy properties, dragons are very, very smart.
Mm.
I will not kill someone's toddler.
All right. Well, that's one house.
Okay. You are welcome to keep playing this evening, if you wish.
You sure?
Just
Because I mean,
take good mental notes of any interesting things you find out. Because I didn't recognize anything in there as being clue worthy, but it doesn't mean it wasn't. I just didn't realize it was significant.
no, but it certainly bolstered our ability to fight and do things.
Yeah, no, our inventory is much healthier. But yeah, I know you're having a good time, so I'm not going to make you stop. And I know.
But if we want to continue, I would rather stop here and continue next week.
Give yourself the rest of the hour. It's what, 45 minutes, and then I'll jump in. With how carefully you're picking your way through this, I don't think you're going to make incredible progress in 45 minutes.
It's also going to be 45 minutes of torture because I want to kill the dragon. But I
Also, as far as next week is concerned, I mean, if we end up going with the plans we got going with, I will not be here.
That's true, because you're gonna drive overnight, aren't you?
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Wendy, how do you feel about it?
I'm fine with continuing this later at some point.
Do you
All
want
right,
to be
in
a
that
part of
case-
it? Do you want us to wait for you and push it a week off so you can see the exploration, or would you jump in and out?
I would be okay with y'all doing it without me next week, and then just give me the rewind afterward.
All right.
Yeah, between the two of us, we'll try and remember anything significant.
All right. I'm going to stop here then.
All right. I'm sorry I'm interrupting your fun.
No, it's fine. I'd rather you be with me on this if you want to be with me. So
It's charming.
the best way for me to restrain myself from my murderous wishes would be to just quit here.
I appreciate you not killing the dog.
Yeah. I just hope that missing experience doesn't bite us later.
Oh my god, we have 2 scrolls, dude. Shut up.
But experience and power
Yes,
and
that's
levels.
what the scrolls are for.
Okay.
Excuse you, it's called Legends of Murder.
Yeah.
Sorry, Richard was saying the name wrong.
What
All right, I'm out of here.
Oh, okay.
He said Lords of Murder.
Close enough.
Close.
All right.
good night.
Well, good night. That's all for us. Fuck you all. Bye.
Night.
Bye.